this second video, we will be learning how to import the data from an external weblog into Hive table. Again, before we can start with the whole import process, we should always look at the source data. The source data in this instance relates to the log file .tsv file. Once you open the data, you will get an understanding on what type of data it is. Looking at this, it looks like the IP addresses of online customers which have ordered bread from the website. With this weblog, the most useful data which we can obtain could be the most popular products of the company. And this can be seen by the frequency of the times which the users have access to that web page or image. Once we have understand the source of the data, we can then proceed to Hue UI to create the data which is required to be imported into Hive. In the case of importing external weblogs, we should always create a temp table first. This temp table can be used for the initial loading of the data as a string into the Hive temp table. After running this or creating this weblogs temp table, we can then proceed to create the main table which the delimited data can be stored into. When the two commands have been triggered and the tables have been created, we can proceed to check on the directory which the table is housed into. In this case, I'm running the query to see the location of the table directory. The location of the table can be seen clearly under line 14, location of the described formatted weblogs query. And here we can see indeed it has been housed into Big Inc, which is the name of our company. And to specify that it is coming through a different data source, it is housed in weblogs directory. Next, we can proceed to import the actual data into the weblogs_temp. Running this query will import the data from local to weblogs temp table as a form of one string. The contents of the weblogs_temp should still look like this. Each row in the table will follow each row of the .tsv file. Next, we can then proceed to format the raw string into the necessary columns before we overwrite or insert it into the weblogs table. Running this command here will format the necessary columns, which is the date time, the IP addresses, and the I_URL, which is actually the web page which they are looking at. A series of functions like substrings and split will be used to format the data accordingly. Once the insert override table weblogs is triggered, we can then check the select star from weblogs to make sure that we are obtaining the correct information that we need. Looking through, we can see that this is the data we are intending to store into our weblogs Hive table. This table will now consist of the date time, the IP addresses, and the URL which the customers are visiting.